Welcome back in. We are almost officially underway when it comes to the National Football League season. I sure hope that the music and my voice aren't at the same level, but I will certainly give it a try. I just wanted to have some football music in the background. I am so pumped. I'm not sure about how anybody else feels, but yeah, the regular season is officially underway on Thursday as we have the defending Super Bowl champions take Kansas City Chiefs. Sorry, I should say the two-time defending Super Bowl champions, Kansas City Chiefs, taking on the Baltimore Ravens. This is a rematch of last year's AFC Championship game. The game was held in Baltimore, and evidently the Chiefs came away with an away victory. So any saying about how they can't win on the road in the postseason was quickly put to bed as they went into Buffalo and Baltimore respectively, winning both of those games and obviously winning the Super Bowl as well. I'm going to be bold on this one. I'm going to say for this Thursday game, for the first game of the 2024-25 campaign, I say the Baltimore Ravens finally get their revenge and get their first win of the season against the Kansas City Chiefs. The next game, I believe, takes place in Brazil as the Philadelphia Eagles are playing host to the Green Bay Packers. I'm going to give the edge to the Philadelphia Eagles in this matchup only because of the veteran the more experienced quarterback, Jalen Hurts. No disrespect to Jordan Love. I mean, he is a fantastic phenom, and he will be a great quarterback for many years, especially for the Green Bay Packers. But I just have a hunch that the Eagles, especially after slumping last season and losing, I think, like 5 of the last 6 games or 6 games in a row, and then obviously losing in the wild card game I was around, I believe they have a lot to prove to a lot of fans and a lot of people, and I truly believe they'll get off to a good start, and they should get their first win of the season. The next game takes place in Atlanta as the Falcons are playing host to the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is a coin flip to me, honestly. You have Russell Wilson on his 3rd team in 5 years, or 4 years, I should say, taking on the Atlanta Falcons, led by Desmond Ridder, I do believe, who is the starting quarterback for the Falcons. This one here, it could go either way, but I'm going to be a little crazy and say that the Falcons pick up the win, and they should start off 1-0 on the season. The next game takes place in Buffalo as the Buffalo Bills are playing host to the Arizona Cardinals. Josh Allen versus Kyler Murray. I'm going to give the edge to the Bills in this one. Obviously, they had a very disappointing end of their season, losing in the divisional round to the Chiefs, as I previously mentioned, so I'm sure they would love nothing more than to get off to a hot start and try to get another AFC East crown. The next matchup takes place in Chicago as the Chicago Bears are taking on the Tennessee Titans. This is obviously a coin flip. You got Will Levis, I believe, from the Tennessee Titans taking on the rookie Williams, if I'm not mistaken, Caleb Williams, if I'm not mistaken, for the Chicago Bears. Fun little fact, no rookie quarterback has ever won their first game in like over 20 years. It's crazy to think. I think the last time they said that a rookie quarterback won was David Carr, I believe, the older brother to Derek. But that actually happened in his second game of his rookie season. So he didn't play the first game, but he played the second game. So I'm going to give the edge to the Bears in this one. Obviously, they had a very poor season last year. They went out of their way to trade Justin Fields to the Steelers, and now they believe they have found their QB of the future. The next match has the Cincinnati Bengals playing host to the New England Patriots. The Bengals are obviously looking to have a better season. Obviously missed last year, and Joe Burrow went down with an injury, and ever since then the team wasn't the same. As long as Joe Burrow can stay healthy, I believe that Cincinnati can have a fantastic season, and I truly believe they should be able to get their first win against the Patriots. A divisional matchup in Indy as the Colts are playing host to the Houston Texans. Now, this is a very interesting matchup as last year Houston played host to Indy in Week 18 of the season, and Houston would go on to not only win that game, but get the division crown as well. So I'm sure Indy has a bit of a chip on their shoulder, to say the least. But if I had to bet, if I was a betting man and I had to go between Quentin Richardson and C.J. Stroud, just because C.J. Stroud had such a fantastic rookie season, I'm going to give the edge to the Texans in this game. A battle of Florida as the Miami Dolphins are playing host to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Obviously, you have Trevor Lawrence going up against Tua Tagovailoa, if I pronounce that name correctly. I'm so terrible with his last name, so I'm just going to call him Tua the entire season. As long as Miami can be as dominant as they were last year, they should be able to get a win over their state rival. So I believe Miami should get their first win of the season. Another divisional matchup is going to take place in the Bayou, Louisiana, as the New Orleans Saints are taking on the Carolina Panthers. Derek Carr versus whoever the Carolina quarterback is. I should know off the top of my head, but I don't know. Actually, you know what? Miles is doing my homework right now, and I can find out right away. I should know who that is, but let me just hold on. I'll just click on the game, and that'll be more helpful. But as I'm loading this up, I am going to give the edge to the New Orleans Saints in this one. I just believe they had such a down season after acquiring Derek Carr, and they're hopefully trying to compete in that NFC South. But evidently, it was not meant to be. But I will give the edge to the New Orleans Saints over the Carolina Panthers. But before I get on to the next game, I have to figure out the quarterback for the Carolina Panthers. It's going to drive me nuts if I don't. So just please bear with me. I should know it. Where is it? Bryce Young. There we go. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I will give the edge to the Saints over the Carolina Panthers in this game. All right, the next matchup takes place in New York as the Giants are playing host to the Minnesota Vikings. Now, for the Minnesota Vikings, they obviously moved on from Kirk Cousins, and they now have Sam Darnold as the starting quarterback, as I believe J.J. McCarthy went down with an injury in the preseason. So Sam Darnold taking on Daniel Jones, two guys who haven't had the best careers, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. And if I was a betting man, I don't know. This is a coin flip to me. Like I don't think one team is really better than the other. Daniel Jones obviously got hurt last year, and the Giants missed out on the postseason. But yeah, this is a coin flip. I'll give the Vikings the edge on this one. Again, this is one matchup that I could not say one way or the other. The Giants could absolutely dominate the Vikings, but I mean, as long as Justin Jefferson is on the field, I'm sure Sam Darnold will have no problem finding him. All right, the next matchup takes place in LA as we have the Chargers taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. Justin Herbert going up against the Raiders QB, who I believe is Gardner Minshew II. Who would have guessed that? I think he played last year with Indy, if I'm not mistaken. So you have a kind of a veteran guy who's been in the league for 5 years in Gardner Minshew, and then you also have Justin Herbert, who got hurt last year, and he's heading into his 5th year, so just a year apart between the two quarterbacks when it comes to experience. And this one, I'm going to give the edge to the Chargers. Obviously, they had a very poor season in 2023-24, and I'm sure they're looking to bounce back after making the postseason just 2 years ago. So I will give the edge to Justin Herbert and the Chargers. The Denver Broncos are taking on the Seattle Seahawks. This is the second time that these two teams have met in week 1 of the opening week, I guess you could say. And but at least there's no drama this time. 2 years ago, obviously, Russell Wilson got traded from Seattle to Denver, and that was the trade that looked very great on paper at the time for the Broncos, but it was not meant to be. Geno Smith is the starting quarterback for the Denver Broncos. Bo Nix is the rookie quarterback for Denver, and an interesting fact that he's the first rookie quarterback to start a game since John Elway back in like the 80s. So it's been well over 40 years since the Denver Broncos have started their first round quarterback, or their rookie quarterback, I should say. I'm going to give the edge to the Seahawks in this game. I just truly believe they are a very good team as long as they have DK Metcalf on the team. There's no telling how dominant they truly can be. And obviously, Geno Smith led the Seahawks to the postseason just 2 years ago. So he has that veteran leadership. He's entering his 12th year of the league. It seems like he just started as a rookie not too long ago with the Jets, and now look at him. Now he's the starting quarterback for the Seahawks, and I will give the edge to the Seahawks. I'm a diehard Broncos fan, but it's hard to bet against the Seahawks. Okay, the next one is a matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Dallas Cowboys. This one here should be a good game, to say the least. You have Deshaun Watson going up against Dak Prescott, two very good quarterbacks, two veteran quarterbacks, I should say, as well. I'm going to give the edge to the Cowboys. I'm sure Cleveland could absolutely win this game. There's no reason why they shouldn't. They have a lot of depth, and obviously adding Jared Jeudy on their offense with their wide receiver core is certainly a big help, but you really can't count the Cowboys out. There's a reason that they won the division, I believe, 2 years in a row, and they could easily battle for first place in that NFC East yet again. So I will give the edge to the Cowboys in this matchup. I think my screen froze. See, my screen will go back to normal. No. Okay. Well, as long as you can hear me, that's all that matters. So the next matchup takes place in Florida as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are playing host to the Washington Commanders. So for Tampa Bay, they have their quarterback in Baker Mayfield. And as for the Commanders, their starting quarterback is going to be Jaden Daniels, the rookie quarterback that they drafted in this year's NFL draft. I'm going to give the edge to the Buccaneers in this one. There's a reason that they've won the NFC South 3 years in a row. Now, with that being said, yes, they did have Tom Brady for 2 out of those 3 years, but they had Baker Mayfield last year, and he won that division. So he is definitely a very good quarterback who can help a good team get an above 500 record and potentially get into the postseason. Hell, I'll even be bold and say they could even make it 4 years in a row as NFC South champions. I would not be surprised about that at all. All right, now a very intriguing matchup on Sunday night as we had the Detroit Lions taking on the Los Angeles Rams. These two teams are very familiar with each other as they played each other in last year's NFC wildcard round. Detroit went on to win that game, defeating their former QB and Matt Stafford. I'm sure Stafford's going to have a little bit of a chip on his shoulder heading back to Detroit. I'm sure he would love to come away with a victory. But I'm going to give the edge to Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions. I think they should be very competitive this year. Not only do I predict they make the playoffs, I think they can easily get the NFC North crown. And I would not be surprised if they were Super Bowl bound. I mean, they made it all the way to the NFC Championship game last year, so there's no question this team has a lot of talent. Alrighty, and the last matchup is going to take place on Monday night as the San Francisco 49ers are taking on the New York Jets. An intriguing matchup for 2 reasons. One, the San Francisco 49ers are looking to head back to the Super Bowl for the 2nd year in a row. They have Brock Purdy as their QB. He's a phenomenal guy. I mean, he's young, and he's very, very good. I'll put it that way. As for the New York Jets, they have a lot to play for this season. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers is hoping to play more than 1 quarter of action. Last year, he only played a little bit, got hurt, and he was out the entire season. So I'm sure he's hoping to have a bounce-back year in 2024-25. I'm going to give the edge to the 49ers in this one. You can't really bet against the 49ers. They made it to 2 straight NFC Championship games. They obviously made it to the Super Bowl last year. They just fell short. But I truly believe they will be very competitive. And I'll say it right now, even though it's only week 1, they should win the NFC West. They should run away with that division, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. Alrighty, that takes care of my preview for week 1 of the NFL season. I will have a recap on Tuesday after Monday, and I'll keep this thing rolling. So I have all my predictions locked in, and I'll see you all on Tuesday and see how I did with my record. Until next time, and as always, take care.